As baseball fans, I'd like to remind you that tonight's game is sponsored by the Suffolk County Association of Municipal Employees. The first 1,500 guests through the turnstiles of our ballpark tonight receive a Long Island Duck logo baseball courtesy of our good friends from Suffolk County Association of Municipal Employees, who have an information table set up on the main concourse next to the Newsday Customer Service Center. We also have a raffle going on, a free raffle, so by all means stop by and fill out that special raffle sheet at the Suffolk County Association of Municipal Employees information table. It's on the main concourse right behind home plate. Stop by now before tonight's game begins. And Duck fans, for the protection of players, coaches, umpires, and other fans, and in the spirit of good sportsmanship, the Long Island Ducks ask that you refrain from tossing any objects onto the field. Please do not stand, climb, sit, or lay on the dugout tops or the backstop netting. Laser pointers are prohibited here at Bethpage Ballpark. We also remind you that any spectator going onto the field or interrupting in any manner will be ejected and subject to arrest.
We are live here at Bethpage Ballpark in Central Islip, New York, and it is time once again for Long Island Ducks baseball. And tonight the Ducks open up a 4-game series here against the 3-game series against the York Revolution, beginning the post-All-Star break schedule for both teams. Well, good evening, everybody. My name is Michael Pollack. I'll be bringing you the play-by-play for all of tonight's action here in Central Islip, New York, as following a 4-day layoff, the Ducks and the Revolution get back to playing here in the second half of the Atlantic League schedule. And for the Ducks, they are hoping that the break was a good one for them, because they enter on a season-long 5-game losing streak after taking the first 2 games of the second half. The Ducks open the half with back-to-back wins against the Sugarland Skeeters here at Bethpage Ballpark, but they would close out their season-long 11-game homestand with a tough defeat to the Revolution, to the Skeeters rather, and so they ended the homestand at 8-3. Ducks then went on the road for 4 games over the weekend in Lancaster and turned into 4 tough ones for Long Island. They had to endure a 2-hour, 18-minute rain delay on Thursday night, and Lancaster ended up persevering and winning the game 9-5 in a game that didn't end until 12:34 on Friday morning. The Ducks and Barnstormers would come back to the field later that day, and the Barnstormers would win it 10-4 behind a good offensive performance from Lancaster against Sean Garceau and the Ducks bullpen, as both Chris Schwinden and Sean Garceau, who entered with identical 8-1 records, both failed to pitch very well. But ultimately, Schwinden was able to secure his 9th win of the year and tied John Brownell for the league lead. So Lancaster had taken the first 2 games of the series, and then the toughest of the defeats for the Ducks came on Saturday when Lancaster took a 5-4 decision, scoring 3 in the 9th to rally back from 4-1 down, prevent Jared Lansford from getting the win after tossing 8 innings of 1-run ball, and then Lancaster won it in walk-off fashion in 12 innings. And then on a Sunday afternoon, the Ducks were able to rally back from 3-0 down to tie the game at 3 in the 7th, but could not go ahead. And ultimately, in 10 innings, it was a Lance Sawatsky game-winning single down the left field line that won it for the Barnstormers and secured a 4-game sweep. So the Ducks enter tonight with a season-long 5-game losing skid, and they take on the first half Freedom Division champions in the York Revolution. We will take a break here on the pregame show, and when we come back, I sit down with one of the newest members of the Revolution, and that is former Duck Brian Nelson, who was a part of last year's and 2012's championship teams. I get a chance to catch up with him before the game today, and you'll hear that interview after this on Long Island's home for news, traffic, and weather, 103.9 LI News Radio.
2, Chad Tracy, number 2.
Well, we are back here at Bethpage Ballpark in Central Islip, New York, as the Long Island Ducks and the York Revolution get set to open up a 3-game series here this weekend as both teams begin their post-All-Star break schedules and continue the rest of the way here in the second half of the 2014 season. Well, the Ducks are trying to get back on the winning track, and they will take on a very good York Revolution team that won the first half Freedom Division title, winning first place in the division to secure themselves a spot in the playoffs here in 2014. And one of their newest players is Bryant Nelson, the former Duck who spent time each of the last 2 years with Long Island and helped the Ducks to back-to-back Atlantic League championships. He now, after starting the year with the Camden River Sharks, has made his way back to the team he began and played in 2011 with, and that is the York Revolution, and he ultimately won a title that year with the Revolution as well. So Nelson is back in York, and before today's game and his return to Bethpage Ballpark, I had the chance to catch up with the 40-year-old. Well, Brian, continuing your tour day, the Atlantic League, you started the year in Camden, where you were with in 2009. The last 2 years were with the Ducks, who you had played with before in 2007 and 2008, and now you're back to the team you won a championship with in 2011, the York Revolution. How does it feel to be back in York?
Well, I knew a lot of the guys here, and, I fit in good on this team. We have a lot of versatile guys that move around, veteran guys, so I fit pretty good on this team. Camden, I fit good there too, but we was a younger team, and I think the trade really helped both guys. Chavez needs to play every day. He gets to play short every day, and I get to play a little bit of everywhere and hopefully go for another title.
Being a part of a York team that already won the first half, is in the playoffs, and being somebody who's been a part of the last 3 championships in the Atlantic League, do you feel confident that your presence will help this team hopefully get to another Atlantic League title?
I don't really look at it like that. I just think I just need to do my part and, cheer for my teammates, be a good role model, be a good teammate, play hard when I'm in the game. And I think everything else will take care of itself. Veteran leadership is hard to find, but we have a lot of that on this team, so I just have to be myself.
Coming to a team that's had so much success already this year and has had a bunch of guys that were voted to the All-Star team and guys that really have put together great seasons, how much confidence does that give you to be a part of a group of guys that already has so much talent?
Like I said, it just allows me to just be myself and be one of the guys and not put too much pressure on myself, to where everything I do, is to win the game. So I think it's a good situation for everybody, a situation where I can just come in and just, do what I'm supposed to do when I'm called upon. So it's kind of cool.
Of course, in 2011, your manager was Andy Etchebarren. Now it's Mark Mason. How much different are their styles, and how different has it been playing for Mace?
I will say they're kind of similar in the way that they manage the game. I think Mace, he was the pitching coach for us when I was here, and he was a coach under Etch a long time. So, the way they structure the teams and the way they run the teams are similar. Just arguing with the umpires is a little different. I've been here probably 5 games. Etch would have been thrown out of 3 of those. I haven't heard Mace say too much, but that's the difference in those guys.
Completely understandable. Well, you started the year in Camden. You were there teammates with several of the guys who you were part of the last year's championship team with, Ryan Strebe, TJ Hose. How was that to be reunited with those guys?
Man, it was good, especially for Strebe. I think getting traded there took a lot of the pressure off of him also, when you play on Long Island's a team where they expect to win, and if you're not doing the job, they might get rid of you, that's just the business of baseball. But going there, it allowed him to continue to get healthy and, to start to play a little better and have more confidence. And, TJ's having a good year also. He's a little more comfortable. Sometimes, man, when you're let go or when, things don't go as you think, you have a little motivation. So that's good for those guys.
Take me back to the last 2 years here with Long Island, a part of 2 championship teams, which, as you said, this organization expects to do every year. How exciting was that for you to be part of the 2 teams here that won it the last 2 seasons?
Man, The first one, man, was, it was really special because, Ray is a good friend of mine, Ray Barrett, and it was his first championship, and I enjoyed that with him. And then to do it again, I was a part of 2 back-to-back teams, man. That was incredible. From where we started last season, where we didn't even think we was going to make the playoff at one point during the second half, to, I think we lost 1 game in the play, or 2 games in the whole playoffs. We swept the first series, and we won 3 the second one. So that was a very, very interesting season we had, which would build a lot of character, man. Memories I'll take from me forever.
How odd has it been to see a Ducks team without Ray Navarrete this year?
Man, I thought it was, guys have been saying, man, it looks weird without you over there. But I say, man, it looks weird without number 16 over there, man, either DHing or playing second. So it's probably one of the first times since I've been in this league that he hasn't been here. And it's weird, but he's missed, man. He's a good guy.
And now being back here on Long Island as the opposition, what has been your interaction with some of the Ducks players when they see you on the field here in a different uniform?
I mean, as baseball players, man, we're all professional, and, we know it's a business, so I'm going to always have my friends and maintain, communication with them. If I see some of my friends like Joe Ash or, any of those guys, I'll be like, hey, man, you wasn't doing this last year, or, we're doing something different. So those guys will always be my friends, man. We have a bond that lasts forever. We all have that ring, so even you have one, so we're all bonded, bro.
Exactly right. Well, Brian, it's good to see you back here at Bethpage Ballpark, and best of luck the rest of the way with the Revolution.
Thanks for having me, and I want to send a shout-out to all the fans, man. I appreciate all the love you guys give me. Thanks.
And that is Bryant Nelson, former Long Island Duck, now member of the York Revolution. And he is always appreciative of the support he has received from the fans here on Long Island, and now hoping to help lead the York Revolution to an Atlantic League title here in 2014. It would be their 3rd overall, which would tie the Ducks for 2nd most in the Atlantic League. The Ducks are trying to secure their postseason berth this year for a 3rd straight season, and they have to win the second half or get a wild card spot to do that, and they'll try and get back on track here tonight in the first of 3 against those Revolution. We'll take a break. When we come back, closer look at the pitching matchup, the starting lineups, and the first pitch of tonight's game here on Long Island's home for news, traffic, and weather, 103.9 LI News Radio.
John Brownell.
Back at Bethpage Ballpark, getting ready for tonight's game between the Long Island Ducks and the York Revolution. Pitching matchup for tonight, John Brownell will start for the Ducks. He's among the league leader in several pitching categories, one of them being wins. He is 9-4 on the year, 3.86 ERA, and has 3 consecutive quality starts leading into tonight. This will be his 17th start of the season, and he is 2-0 in his last 3 starts, 5-1 in his last 7 starts. On the other side is the longtime York Revolution right-hander. It's Corey Thurman, 3-3, 4.37 ERA on the year, 12 starts on the season. He has lost each of his last 2 starts. The last time out allowed just 3 runs in 5 innings in a 4-2 loss against Bridgeport. He won his last win coming on June 28th against this Ducks team back at Santander Stadium in York, Pennsylvania. Well, the Ducks have taken the field on a gorgeous night for baseball here at the Duck Pond. They are joined on the field by tonight's Nico Lock Dream Team. The 2 Dream Teams are the Bayport Seawolves and the North Patchogue Medford Youth Athletic Club. The color guard over at first base is Boy Scouts Pack 690 and Pack 318. And now Trish Goodwin with our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light twilight's fast gleaming, whose bold stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Very nice job by Trish Goodwin of Suffolk County AME with our national anthem. Suffolk County AME, the game sponsor for tonight here at Bethpage Ballpark, and they gave out 1,500 Ducks logo baseballs to the first 1,500 fans in attendance here this evening. The start of a 6-game homestand for the Ducks tonight, 3 here against the Revolution, followed by 3 against the Bridgeport Bluefish, before a season-long 10-game road trip for the Ducks. That'll feature 6 games in Camden and 4 in Bridgeport. Time for tonight's starting lineups for both the Ducks and the York Revolution to kick off this series. And for the Revolution, who are managed by Mark Mason, they will look like this. Justin Green will lead off. He is in right field. Batting second is the shortstop. That is Wilson Valdez. And hitting third is the left fielder, Eric Patterson. Chad Tracy is in the cleanup spot. He is the first baseman. Travis Garcia is at third base and will bat fifth. The former Duck and our guest on the pregame show, Bryant Nelson, bats sixth and serves as the DH. Hitting seventh and second base is Ophelio Castro. Salvador Paniagua will do the catching and hit eighth. And rounding out the order for the Revs is the center fielder, Sean Smith. They will all face, as we mentioned earlier, right-handed pitcher John Brownell, the 2013 Atlantic League Championship Series Most Valuable Player. On the other side for Kevin Byes' Long Island Ducks, Phelan Lentini will start off the first game post-All-Star break in center field and lead off. Cody Puckett at second base bats second. Hitting third is the designated hitter Lou Ford, and in the cleanup spot is the right fielder, that is Adam Bailey. Brendan Harris is at third base, he bats fifth. Brandon Bance will do the catching and hit sixth. Joe Ash Brodeen is over at first base, he will hit seventh tonight. John Myers gets the start in left field and hits eighth. And rounding out the order for the Ducks is the shortstop, Dan Lyons, and as we mentioned, he will face the Revolution veteran, right-hander Corey Thurman. So the Ducks enter 2-5 here in the second half of the season, 42-34 overall. They are 3 games in back of the Bridgeport Bluefish in the Liberty Division standings here early on in the second half of the season. This is game number 77 of 140 for the Ducks here in 2014. For the Revolution, they enter at 3-4 here in the second half of the season, 2 games in back of the Lancaster Barnstormers for first place in the Freedom Division. But as we mentioned earlier, York has already guaranteed themselves a postseason berth with the first half Freedom Division title, so they will return to the playoffs for the first time since 2012 after they were not in the playoffs a year ago. York is 44-33 overall here in 2014. This is their 78th game. John Brownell has completed his warm-up tosses, and the Ducks, who are wearing the home white jerseys, will get ready to face this Revolution lineup here in the top of inning number 1. York going with their alternate throwback jerseys here. They are mainly yellow jerseys with blue and white horizontal stripes below the chest, and then a Revolution R on the front left chest with a navy blue number on the back. Interesting jersey choice for the Revolution. Almost looks Bumblebee-esque, but they go with the throwback look here tonight, and we are just about set for baseball here at Bethpage Ballpark. So John Brownell will step on the mound from the right side. Stepping in from the right side is Justin Green, and now time called right before Brownell's first pitch of the game. So now Green is set, and Brownell is set, and the first pitch of the night on the way, and it's a fastball strike on the outside corner.
Transportation services start time of the ball game. It's 7:08.
We begin at 7:08 p.m. here on a beautiful Friday night. We'll get the game time temperature from public address announcer Bob O'Tone after this next pitch. And the 0-1 is inside for ball one.
The official Suffolk Transportation Services temperature of tonight's ball game, 82 degrees.
82 degrees, very little humidity. Some clouds in the skies overhead, but nothing threatening. And the 1-1 is hit on the ground towards short. Dan Lyons to his left will field and throw to first in time to retire the speedy Green. One away here in the top of the first inning. Green has been one of the hottest players in the Atlantic League, hitting .389 with 4 homers and 22 runs batted in for York before that ground out. So one away, and that will bring up the shortstop, Wilson Valdez. Fans continuing to file in here at Bethpage Ballpark on this Friday night following the 4-day break in the Atlantic League for the All-Star game, which was held in Sugar Land, Texas on Wednesday night. First time ever at Constellation Field, and a new format for this year as well. As Brownell's first pitch to Valdez is upstairs for ball one. The Skeeters took on the Atlantic League All-Stars, and Sugar Land came away with a 5-3 win at home over a team comprised of All-Stars from the 7 other Atlantic League teams. 1-0 is chopped foul at home plate by Valdez to even the count at 1-1. Valdez was one of those Atlantic League All-Stars down in Sugar Land, Texas. John Brownell, the starter for the Ducks, surprisingly did not get selected. Most teams only had 1, maybe 2 pitchers selected, but really everybody got 1, and the Ducks ended up getting Sean Garceau as the pitcher that was selected. Here's the 1-1 of Valdez, righty swinger. He takes up high again for ball 2 from Brownell. Valdez at .292 on the year with a home run and 21 runs batted in. Two-one pitch. Brownell kicks and fires, and there's a fastball that just missed a hair below the knees. Count 3-1. Frank LeParic is the home plate umpire tonight. Warren Nicholson is around at first base, and over at third is Richie McCarron. 3-1 from Brownell. Valdez grounds this one foul along the third base line. A couple feet to the left of the third base bag as we view it from behind home plate. So the count is full at 3-2. Lights on here as the sun sets beyond the third base stands. After some rainy weather at the start of the week, Monday and Tuesday chock full of rain here on Long Island, but the last 3 days have been much, much better weather-wise. 3-2, and that's hit on the ground to third, this time in fair territory. Harris fields on one high hop and fires over to Brodeen at first. 2 away and a pair of groundouts for the Revolution. Defensive lineup for the Ducks here today. It is John Myers in left field, Phelan Lantini in center, and Adam Bailey is around in right. On the infield from left to right, Brendan Harris at third, Dan Lyons the shortstop, Cody Puckett is at second base, Joe Ashbrodeen over at first, and behind home plate doing the catching for John Brownell is Brandon Bance. So 2 away for the Revolution. That'll bring up their 3-hitter. That's the left fielder Eric Patterson. He will hit from the left side. And Brownell's first pitch is on the way and taken on the outside corner for strike 1. This year, Patterson hitting .288 for the Revolution, 8 home runs, 50 runs batted in. Top to bottom, Revolution have a terrific lineup. And the 0-1, missed up and in tight. Cutter from Brownell, leaving the count at 1-1. And York, by a lot of people's estimation here around the Atlantic League, so far has fielded the best looking team in the league in terms of their play on the field. And now Patterson lines one in a right field for a base hit. Bailey will field on a couple of hops and fire it into the second baseman Cody Puckett. So we have our first base runner of the night as Patterson singles to right. And with 2 away, that'll bring up the cleanup man, Chad Tracy. So Patterson on first with the first base hit of the evening, and here is Tracy who will bat from the right side against Brownell. Well, as we mentioned earlier, enters with the league-leading total in wins. He has 9 of them on the year, which is tied with Chris Schwinden of the Barnstormers for the most in the Atlantic League. Schwinden earned his 9th win of the season on Friday night against the Ducks at Clipper Magazine Stadium. First pitch on the way to Tracy. He swings and pops it up foul, first base side. Brodeen over towards the Ducks dugout. This, though, will be back into the seats. And the count 0-1. Tracy enters at .268 on the year, 11 home runs, and 56 runs batted in. Revolution currently playing with 11 position players. They only have 2 available on the bench. Backup catcher Alberto Espinoza and newcomer Tim Battle, who was just signed yesterday by York. Battle is listed as an outfielder. The Ducks now have 12 position players after they signed and activated infielder, Bill Hall today. Bill Hall, who was a member of last year's championship team, signed and activated by Long Island today, and the former big leaguer will bring his potent bat to the lineup. He had a team-high 16 home runs a year ago for Long Island. 0-1 from Brownell, and Tracy takes low and outside, even up the count at 1-1. Now the Ducks are hoping that Hall can fill the void that was left by Randy Ruiz when he went to the Mexican League. Ruiz's bat had started to get hot, and he was hitting a lot of home runs, and now they sign Hall and hopefully get some of those. Brownell just missed a little bit low. Thought he had the knees there, but Frank Leparic said it was below. So the count now 2-1 on the righty swinging Chad Tracy, not the former big leaguer. Same name, same spelling, but different player. Chad Tracy from the Revolution never reached the big league level. Topped out at AAA. 2-1 on the ground, left side. Couple hops for Brendan Harris. He'll go the short way to second for the force, and that will retire the side. So for the Revolution in the top half of the first inning, no runs on 1 hit, and they leave 1 on the bases. We head to the bottom of the first inning. It's the Revolution nothing. The Ducks coming to bat on Long Island's home for news, traffic, and weather. 103.9 LI News Radio.
Jump for joy. Welcome to Sky Zone, the original indoor trampoline park.
And fans, if you follow the Long Island Ducks on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, make sure to take part in our social media contest being held here at the ballpark tonight. Send us a Ducks selfie using the hashtag #ClockPhoto, and you could be going home a winner tonight. We'll be announcing the winner at the end of the inning, so don't wait around. Get snapping.
Well, we go to the bottom half of the first inning. Revolution nothing. The Ducks coming to bat for the first time here in tonight's ball game, and the Ducks and Municipal Credit Union have teamed up again this season to present the Walk with a Purpose promotion. Every time a Long Island Ducks player walks, Municipal Credit Union will make a donation to the Quacker Jack Foundation. Municipal Credit Union serving members since 1916. So John Brownell allows just a 2-out single to Eric Patterson, and now the Ducks will try and give Brownell the early lead here on this Friday night as they face the longtime Rev right-hander. That is Corey Thurman, one of the nicest guys you will meet in the Atlantic League. Every time he comes to town, always makes it a point to say hello, and he continues here for the Revolution among the all-time leaders in several offensive categories. Several pitching categories. First pitch to Lentini, and he takes outside for ball 1. Lentini has had quite a terrific season for the Ducks in his Long Island debut. .325 average, 2 homers, 38 runs batted in. And the 1-0 is upstairs again from Thurman for ball 2. Thurman is 3-3, 4.37 ERA in 12 starts. He had just 4 wins all of last year, so certainly an improvement this year from his numbers a year ago, and that is always good to see. 2-0, and Lentini will take a strike this time on the outside corner. Count goes to 2-1. He's given up 55 hits in 59 2/3 innings, 16 walks to 37 strikeouts for Thurman. And now the 2-1 to the Ducks right-handed hitter. And Lentini will take a strike. Fastball on the inside corner to even the count at 2-2. Lentini leads the league in stolen bases, 31, and in doubles with 27. And now the 2-2 from the windup. Thurman deals, and Lentini grounds one weakly here towards short. Charging in Valdez. Fields throws on the run, and it's in time to retire Lentini for out number 1. Not an easy play for Wilson Valdez, but he is a former big leaguer and plays a very good defense at short. Lentini, who runs well down the first baseline, got thrown out a step or two before he reached first base. So with one away, here is the second baseman, Cody Puckett, who had a great series in Lancaster before a tough 0-for-5 performance in the series finale on Sunday afternoon. So Puckett will step in from the right side, and Thurman will work out of the windup. First pitch, and Puckett will take off the outside corner for ball 1. Cody's at 287 on the season, 3 home runs, 41 driven in. Open stance at home plate. And the 1-0 is delivered at the knees for a strike, this time inside corner, count even at 1-1. Thurman, a resident now of York, Pennsylvania, 6'2", 245 pounds. 1-1 is low. 35 years old is Thurman. Another count, 2-1 here on Puckett. Infield straight away. And Thurman's offering is popped up in the air. Behind second, the shortstop Valdez making the call and making the catch. So 2 batters for the Ducks, 2 are retired. And with 2 away, here is the DH and 3-hitter Lou Ford.
Hitting in the third position for the Long Island Ducks, here's the designated hitter, number 20, Lou Ford, number 20.
So here is Ford, who will step in batting from the right side. Ford, who along with Cole Garner have been without a doubt the 2 best players in the Atlantic League thus far this season. And Thurman's first pitch to Lou is taken on the outside corner for strike 1. Back from the windup, here's the 0-1. And Ford swings, grounds one past the mound towards the middle and past the second baseman Ophelio Castro into center field for a single. So Lou Ford has the first hit for the Ducks here tonight. And each team has gotten a 2-out single from their number 3 hitter here in the opening inning. Before that base hit, Ford was hitting .363 on the year, second highest average in the league to York's Justin Green. 11 home runs and a league best 60 runs batted in. So with the runner at first, 2 away, Adam Bailey will step to the plate. Salvador Paniagua had to re-buckle in his left shin protector, but now he is ready to go, and stepping up to the plate will be the lefty swinging Bailey. So Thurman will have to work out of the stretch for the first time tonight. And his first pitch to Bailey, swung on and lifted into left center field. Long run over for the center fielder Smith. He won't get it. It's going to get past him and roll all the way to the wall. On his way to third is Ford. He is going to get the sign from Kevin Byes to head home. Here's the relay to the plate. It is not in time. A 2-out RBI double to left center field for Adam Bailey, and the Ducks strike first. They lead 1-0. So the Ducks with a little 2-out thunder here in the bottom of the first inning. Lou Ford with a single and Adam Bailey with a first pitch RBI double. His 45th run batted in of the year, 12th double. And the Ducks strike first here on this Friday evening. Good piece of hitting there from Adam Bailey. He was ready for the first pitch fastball there from Corey Thurman, and instead of trying to pull it, he pushed it out into left center. And even with the good speed of Sean Smith in center field, no chance he was going to catch up to it with the ball slicing away from him into the left center field gap. And once it got past him, it went all the way to the wall. Easy for Ford to score from first on the play. Bailey thought about third, but held on at second when the throw was cut off by Chad Tracy, the first baseman, behind the pitcher's mound. So runner at second now, 2 away. Here is Brendan Harris to the plate from the right side. And Thurman's first pitch to him is below the knees over the outside part of the plate, but low for ball 1. Harris is at 287 on the year, 3 home runs and 19 runs batted in. York's infield plays slightly towards the left side for Harris to pull. Big hole on the right side. And the 1-0 is popped up in the air to center field. Well hit. Going back is Sean Smith. Still drifting back and in straightaway center. He will make the catch. for the final out here in the bottom of the first inning. But the Ducks strike for a pair of 2-out hits, including an RBI double from Adam Bailey. And they leave one on base after one full. It's the Ducks 1, the Revolution nothing here on Long Island's home for news, traffic, and weather, 103.9 LI News Radio.
AME has an information table set up on the main concourse behind home plate next to a Newsday customer service center.
Well, we are back here at Bethpage Ballpark. We head to inning number 2 as the Long Island Ducks have an early 1-0 lead over the York Revolution. Want to now take the time to bring you the Ducks Health Report, which is brought to you by Island Shore Physical Therapy, the official therapist of the Long Island Ducks. Josh Lansford has been day-to-day. He is dealing with some shoulder stiffness, but aside from that, everybody on the Ducks is healthy and just enjoyed a nice 4-day break. The only 3 who did not have the full 4 days off were Lou Ford, Adam Bailey, and Sean Garceau, as those 3 headed to Sugar Land, Texas for the Atlantic League All-Star festivities and the All-Star game on Wednesday night. Travis Garcia to lead off, first pitch on the way, and he will take on the outside corner for strike 1 from John Brownell. Garcia is hitting .259 on the year, has 9 homers and 32 runs batted in. And the 0-1 misses inside from Brownell, leaving the count at 1-1. Revolution have a couple players out on the inactive list right now. Jason Repko, an outfielder, and Matt Neal, a pitcher, both inactive. Here Garcia grounds one along the third base line. Fair ball, long throw from Harris. Perfect strike, right on the money to get Garcia at first. Nice play by Brendan Harris for out number 1. He has, without a doubt, one of the best arms you will see at third base. The former big leaguer, very underrated defensively, but right along the line there, had a look at the umpire, third base umpire Rich McCarron, to make sure that that was a fair ball, and then had to make the long toss to first against a fairly good runner in Travis Garcia, and fired a perfect strike to Brodeen for the first out. Now here's another third baseman, although serving as the DH tonight. It's Brian Nelson, the former Duck switch hitter, batting from the left side against his former teammate of the last 2 years, John Brownell. First pitch on the way, and Nelson will take outside for ball 1. Combined between the River Sharks and the Revolution, Nelson is hitting .237, no homers, 19 runs batted in. 1-0, and that misses upstairs for a ball. And the count now 2-0. Nelson here hits one in the air left center field. Moving to his left is John Myers, and in front of the scoreboard in left center, he'll make the catch. So Nelson retired on the fly out the opposite way, 2 away here in this top of inning number 2. Brownell, entering tonight, leads the league in innings pitched with 109 1/3 innings, 81 strikeouts. He also leads the league in complete games with 4 and games started with 16. So he's right among the league leaders in almost every pitching category. The one he does have a tie for the league lead with that he would not like to have is home runs allowed. He's given up 17 on the year, which is tied for first in the league. Ground ball here past the mound. Dan Lyons, the shortstop, fields behind second, throws to first to retire Ophelio Castro. And a smooth 1-2-3 second inning for the Ducks right-hander. So the Revolution go in order, and we will head to the bottom of the second with the Ducks leading at 1-0 on Long Island's home for news, traffic, and weather. 103.9 LI News Radio.
Enjoy a Long Island Ducks game here at Bethpage Ballpark, just like the gang from Sophion Incorporated. We hope you're having a great time tonight.
Well, we are back here at Bethpage Ballpark as we go to the bottom half of this second inning. Ducks with an early 1-0 lead over the York Revolution. And fans, every double play the Long Island Ducks turn this season is presented by the New York State Public Employees Federation, PEF, the problem-solving union providing health care services, mental health services, and services to the developmentally disabled. New York State Public Employees Federation, the union that cares for the community. Well, the Adam Bailey 2-out RBI double in the first inning gave the Ducks a 1-0 lead. And now as we head to the second inning, Ducks will send up Brandon Bance to lead things off, and he'll be followed by Joe Ashbrodeen and John Myers. Corey Thurman back on the mound for his second inning of work, and the first pitch to Bance is a breaking ball strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Bance is 4 of 14 in his first 3 games as a Duck. No homers, 3 runs batted in thus far. And here comes the 0-1. And this is low and outside, even up the count at 1 ball and 1 strike on Bance, who began the year with AA Harrisburg in the Washington Nationals organization. 1-1 pitch. Bance swings, grounds one left side. To his left as Travis Garcia goes off his glove. And Bance is going to be safe at first. Tough play there. And that is going to be a base hit, though, for Brendan Harris. So the Ducks get the leadoff man on. And that will bring up Joe Ashbrodeen. So here is Brodeen to bat, switch hitter from the left side. After the infield single by Bance, Now first pitch swinging, Brodeen pops it up, foul to the third base side of home plate. Catch made by Salvador Paniagua. And that is the first out. Brodeen was at 240 with 5 homers and 37 runs batted in. So Brodeen pops out foul on the first pitch he sees from Corey Thurman. And now John Myers will step up to home plate. So the Ducks now with 3 hits in the ball game. And here is John Myers to bat. First pitch on the way, and Myers takes low and outside. That is ball 1. Myers has been hitting the ball somewhat well of late. He has 13 hits in his last 14 games, 294 average in that span. And here he grounds one back up the middle into center field, a base hit. So 2 hits in the inning for the Ducks as Myers continues to scald the ball well. And he now will increase that to 28 batting average. So the Ducks have runners at first and second with 2 away. 4 hits early on here against Thurman. And with 2 on and 1 out, here's the shortstop and 9-hitter, Dan Lyons. So Lyons will step up to the plate, batting from the right side. From the stretch, Thurman is ready, looks to second, deals, and Lyons will take the first pitch a mid-high for ball 1. Lyons is at 264 on the year, 1 home run, 23 runs batted in. And now the 1-0. He's hit on the ground towards third. Garcia fields, steps on the third base bag, throws across the diamond in time for the out. And a nifty 5-3 double play will end the inning for Long Island. So ultimately no runs on 2 hits, 1 left on the bases. And through 2, it's 1-0 Ducks on Long Island's home for news, traffic, and weather, 1039 LI News Radio. To inning number 3 we go here at Bethpage Ballpark. A 1-0 lead early on for the Long Island Ducks in the opener of this 3-game series against the York Revolution Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Discover the difference at Huntington Honda West and get straight down the middle savings on Long Island's #1 lineup of Honda certified used cars. Huntington Honda West doesn't play games or small ball. Check out the giant indoor showroom along with hundreds of premium used vehicles available at huntingtonhondacars.com or visit Huntington Honda West on Jericho Turnpike, just a half-mile east of Route 110. So the Ducks threatened in the second, had runners at first and second with 1 out before Dan Lyons hit